Hey everybody, now welcome to Microsoft Copilot. Today I'm going to get into digging into a little bit deeper into Microsoft Copilot for all you beginners out there. I'm going to first explain the interface, how to access Copilot. I'm going to get into a little bit more detail on what is Copilot used for, unveiling Microsoft Copilot, its high level features, capabilities, how to do some prompts. I'm also going to answer some questions, and I'm going to ask Copilot some questions, and I'm going to have Copilot answer those questions. And then I'm going to dig into images, how to create stunning images with Copilot, and how Copilot interacts with those images. And then after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about Copilot's integration features with Office 365, touch a little bit on that, and a little bit on the future of Microsoft Copilot Studio, and then end with some final thoughts. So let's go ahead and get started. So for those of you out there that want to get to Copilot, to access Copilot, you want to type in the browser copilot.microsoft.com, and then it will take you to this page. Once you get to this page, you're going to notice on Copilot here that you're at the Copilot interface. And one of the things is, this is a regular question that I get asked all the time about Copilot is, what's the difference between Copilot and Copilot Pro and their paid edition? And what I want to do is just first start there and move here to the Microsoft Copilot page. And I want to scroll down and just talk about the three flavors of Copilot offerings. The first is this free version, which I'm going to get back into, but basically what Copilot is a artificial intelligent companion. A companion that I can ask questions and feed it information, and then that companion could provide me a summary or a breakdown or a detail of that information that I provided. So in essence, it's like a very powerful secretary that could capture large language model data, process that data, and then make intelligent responses and recommendations on the data that you provided. So when Copilot interacts with text, voice, and images capabilities, it could, like I said, summarize these documents and web pages and provide insight. It also has an image creation designer feature built into this platform. And it uses plugins and Copilot GPT. And very similar to ChatGPT, it is an AI companion tool. Now, Copilot has three flavors. As you see here, we're talking about the free version. And then the next one is Copilot Pro. So for $20 a month, you can get Copilot Pro, very similar to ChatGPT, where you pay $20 a month and you'll get this similar things like faster processing times during peak times when everybody is on the platform and using Copilot. And then your responses are taking a lot longer. If you're on the Copilot Pro version, it's going to be a lot faster. Also, faster image creation. So you're going to get a lot more speed and performance out of the Copilot Pro version. And then also, if you're like me, that's been around the Microsoft product for my whole entire career, any more efficiencies that I can add into my Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Outlook, Teams, would really just make my life a lot more easier. And this is where Copilot full-on integration, which I'm not going to cover in this video, but this is going to be a little bit more advanced, where I dig into how you can leverage Copilot with Office 365. And that is if you have a standard or a business standard or business premium subscription license that you're paying monthly, you will add on also $30 a month to get Copilot 365 added on to that infrastructure. So I gave you a lot of information, talk about the three flavors of Copilot, and I know we're all anticipating, let's get into it. Now that we're here at Copilot, you're going to notice that Copilot has three conversation style approaches. One is going to be creative. The next one's going to be balanced. And the third is going to be precise. So usually when you come in, it's going to be mostly balanced. You want to spend a lot of time starting here doing balance. But if you're starting to get something a little bit more creative, like you're thinking about content, its creation and thoughts and so forth. For me, like I'm creating a training course online and I'm using Kajabi and I wanted to get my AI companion to collaborate with me, I'm probably going to use more of the creative as I'm creating more copy on the website and so forth like that. Precise is as I'm on my blog page and I'm writing a lot of articles around one of my favorite topics is enterprise architecture. So I'm talking about architecture and interaction with of different architecture infrastructures around ERP systems, Oracle, SAP, Microsoft Dynamics. I'm really getting into these really good conversations. I'm going to use Precise to build a lot of more of this engagement and so forth. And then also, Microsoft Azure, like I'm doing some things and I want to write an article about Azure and how I'm spinning up, a VPC, a private network. Yes, I'm going to do precision, more precise and get into more detailed conversations with Copilot so it could be a really good dialogue between Copilot and myself. So let's get started. So as I go to more balanced, let's ask Copilot that question we originally started talking about is, what is Microsoft Copilot? Let's get Copilot's view on this. So I just put that prompt in there and I'll just type the prompt in this piece and then I'll click this button or I'll click enter on my computer and it would come back and say, give me a beautiful response like Microsoft Copilot, formerly known as Bing Chat Enterprise, is your everyday AI companion. So this is a really, really good response. Now, let's say I wanted to, here you're going to see more capabilities where I can drill down in a little bit more information. So if I click on it, it's going to open a new browser here, a new tab, and I'm able to get to that original Copilot page that I showed you. And I do encourage you, when you get to this page, actually type in Microsoft Copilot after / Microsoft and click on this. This is a really good video. I really enjoyed. Also, I can click on here and go to Wikipedia and, give me some more information. So I like those recommendations that we get. Also, you'll see here that it gives us some suggestions. How does Copilot work? You could click here and it'll start generating some response. You could also stop the response. So let me just do it again so you can see kind of what happens. It'll start responding and then I can stop. If I felt like I gave it a response, we call the word delusion. So now the AI is being a little bit more delusional. It's not giving you the results that you're looking for. It's making up stuff or filling in the gaps. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that you didn't feed it a lot of information for it to analyze and for it to process and come up with a version of how you would like to see it. So the big things about this, any AI tool, it's all about feeding it information and asking the right prompts. And that's what these are. Prompts. The better the prompts and the more detailed the prompts and more precise the prompts, the better the output that you're looking for. So it just takes time for you to get there. Now, let's dig into what is Microsoft Copilot used for. So let's pull up another example here. So you can see here that if I type it here, Copilot is used to provide information and answers that generate, creative content. So, as I was showing you, anyone can use this. If you're using it in your everyday life, I use it for just about everything. Writing, collaborating, building creatives, building videos, building blog, marketing content and so forth. Content writing. So, Copilot is a really powerful tool, great companion to really help you be successful. Now, there's some more features inside of Copilot. So for instance, let's say I wanted to just reset and start fresh on a new topic. I just click this button here and then I'm able to start and I'm able to get something fresh and keep going. Copilot has these 3 buttons and I did want to draw your attention to this box. So this actual box itself can only do so many characters. And that's one of the limitations here. And I've been putting in this prompt like the first time and it generated very well, but then it started using the more detailed word like token. So I really added some more precise details you see here. So say, don't, use characters versus tokens in your response. So that is one of the things that I put in here. So let's go ahead and click next to submit to get a feedback on what are the characters. And you could see here, and excuse me, I spelled characters wrong, but you could see here that Copilot basically responded with some information and feedback to let you know, like, hey, whatever in this particular box here, it could do approximately. It did use 2,048 tokens. So again, this is an example of a little bit of a delusion. I'll keep my input responses is curious, but it's approximately 13,000 characters can actually fit into this box, right? So I could ask the question again, or I could basically go back and say, hey, Copilot, that's not the response I was looking for. And I love the beauty of that dialogue. Nothing is perfect. And I'm glad this is a great example of I'm asking Copilot to, and I could get into engage, but I didn't want to spend that much time to kind of get over it. But it just gives you an idea. There's a limitation of how much data you can put into this box. Now, the next step is this is a very similar thing. This is just a note. This is just a larger version of this, which is the notebook. And it's the same thing. You could put in more characters here. And then what it'll do, it'll generate, it'll be able to process, analyze that data, and then generate the response here. So you just got a more bigger place, a more larger environment, a panel for you to put in your responses and gather information, and then put it back. So let's go in and ask how many characters are in the notebook side. So I'm going to ask that and say, hey, and then you can see here now it's basically, so it's getting a little delusional. So, but it did say, okay, hey, yeah, you can get 4,000. So it's about, it's 18,000 characters in here, right? So I could go in, I'm not going to get in, but I can go in and say, hey, Copilot, like you're getting a little bit more delusional. I can ask the question again. I can also go into the notebook and ask the question here. And you can see if I ask that question, right, it's going to try to be as more precise, more elaborate in response to that. Look at that. So 24,000 characters could fit into this section. So, and that goes into my next, showing you how to use Notebook. Like same thing, you could add, you could create, put in a new topic. This is like we were here. When we click that for a new topic, it's the same thing here. You'll click a new topic and you'll be able to click off more engagements. Now, let's get into the cool thing about Copilot that I really do like is creating these images. So I'm going to ask, Copilot has the ability to create an image. So let's ask Copilot, hey, create me an image, right? And this is the image I want. I create an image of a rock band at a concert playing on their guitar on a boat in the ocean, like something really interesting, right? So I'm going to click submit and tell Copilot to do that. And Copilot says, I'm going to try to create that. And now when you see these four boxes, Copilot is thinking, it's leveraging the power of DALL-E E3, which is an image solution that's collaborating with the back end of the large language model and then creating these really cool folders. Now, these are static, right? It self-generated this. Like I would use these photos or probably a blog. I think this is really interesting and really powerful. All four of these photos are really, they really resonate with the vision, what I was thinking. And now you can just see these guys getting a little bit more like engaged. And yeah, this is kind of in my mind how I was visioning like the main guitarist and so forth. So, and it's not always that, right? The cool thing is you got some responses here. You can do a like or dislike. You can copy. You can download and export as a Word, a PDF. Actually, I might do that. And actually, let's do that as an example. So I'll go ahead and grab it, and I can download the text and stuff like that. But if I wanted to grab their creative image, I would do this and then just right click, save image, and then I'll basically save that to my my actual download folder. And excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. So let's move on to another cool thing. What are these two buttons here that are really cool? So one of the things I do like about Copilot is it has a feature where you can actually add an image or upload a file. And I could go here, you click on the button, you'll see upload from this device or take a photo. So if I click that, you're going to see that I have these 3 pictures. So Copilot's cool. I could grab this photo here and basically say, hey, I got a image that I uploaded and I want Copilot to do something with this image. Add some social media caption to this image. And then I click submit. Then, and then you're going to notice this. You're going to probably wonder, privacy blurred hides faces from Copilot. So we can ask Copilot, like, what does that mean? But you can see here, like, boom, rock wave and some more. And I can say, Copilot, add some more. Right. And then Copilot knows, okay, oh, wow. And it's going to give me like just some more insight. So this is really, really cool. Like I was able to add an image and it gave me some information that I could do some stuff on social media. And I can respond, I love it. Thank you. And Copilot responds, you're welcome. Right. And here's another cool thing about images. Like I can go back and I can upload another image, right? This cake. And I could say, talk about this image. I can give it a prompt and say, I prompt it based off of the image to give me some insight, right? And then I can hit submit. And then what Copilot's going to do is it's going to look at the image, think about it, and then just start giving me some insight. Let's dive into the delicacies of chocolate cake, right? I could ask some more questions about this image. I'll give you some recipes on chocolate cake, like how I can create a variety of different chocolate cakes, and which is really powerful. So really wanted to show that feature there. You could also here like upload an actual document like an Excel sheet and then have it analyze that data and then go from there. Other cool thing about Copilot is here. I like this microphone, use the microphone here. Hey Copilot, how are you today? Now click submit.
Hello, I'm here and ready to assist. How can I make your day better?
And you can see Copilot responded and started speaking. I can actually click here and Copilot will read out loud. So, and that's really cool. And Copilot gives you some more prompts, like which is really, really powerful. Now, one of the really coolest things I did want to show a song, and I wanted to let you know that all you Mac users, I don't have a presentation today really cover on PC, but I will on our future demos. I just want to keep this really simple for getting started guide. But one of the cool things I do like is I could create a prompt and say create a song, right? And then what'll happen is that over here the plugin's not available. It used to be, and it was taken away from any Microsoft Edge on the Mac users. But before there was a section here where you had chat and some features where you can chat some plugins, and then you can see the plugins, right? So you would go here. Let me talk a little bit about clicking that button, and then you'll see the plugins piece, and then you go to Sumo, and then you'll click on that plugin, and then I can put that in. And basically, what it will do is I can upload a picture and say create a song from this cake right here, and then it would use that plugin to create a song, which is really cool. So unfortunately, I don't have that to demo today, but I will demo that in some future videos. So we covered a lot here, and I think this is really cool. I wanted to try something. Let's try something fun, right? Copilot's really cool about telling jokes, and let's refresh and say, hey, Copilot, tell me a joke about eating chocolate cake. See what it says. Certainly. And now Copilot shares, which is lovely. Excuse me. And it gives us more insight into, I can click here again, like funny jokes and stuff like that, which is really cool. Copilot. I want to dig into something. I want to give you a good example of how Copilot, and I mentioned it, how Copilot is able to take a lot of data and process it. So I went in here and got a Wikipedia. I went to their web design and I grabbed a lot of content. Now, this is a lot of content, and I mentioned before, you can't fit all this text in there. So you're going to have to do them in pieces and break it up. But for now, really what I want to do is go to a new topic and just show you like how much, and Didn't, again, like there's a limitation on how many characters, right? So I added that characters in there, and I can scroll all the way to the top. And some of this is a little bit of, formatting stuff, right? And then I'm going to do Shift Enter to get it to move down, and then go back and basically put in a prompt, because you got to tell it. Again, remember, it's the prompts that drive everything. So Copilot, summarize this article for me. That's the prompt. And then sometimes I would say, and here is the article, right? And then, do a colon. So Copilot knows this is the article. But even if I didn't do it, it would know, it would read, it would kind of figure it out. But this is, proper prompt etiquette, I would say, right? So I put that in there and I'll hit submit. Copilot's going to analyze that data. So now it's summarizing the web design, so you can see it's executing the task, right? And I do recommend don't exit out of this, like when it's actually executing tasks. Like don't jump into Notebook because it tends to kind of mess up its flow. And while it's doing that, summarizing, I wanted to draw your attention over here. So in this version, I didn't show you that, I'm a logged in, I'm a paid user of Microsoft Business Premium. So you could basically see just any type of license that you have with Microsoft, you can log in. You can still log into this without having a license, right? Because again, it's free, right? But we do encourage you could get a free Outlook account, and then that'll really help, that you can connect, and then it's all in the Microsoft ecosystem, so it connects very nicely. So you can see the summary came back, which is really, really cool. I could ask some more information of this. Like if I was really like analyzing, I would get a very precise, very specific, like, hey, give me 400 words based off of this block of text. Like give me 200 words, and I'll just let Copilot like really dig into it and get some feedback. Like, explain a little bit more about this sentence. Give me different versions of saying this. Give me like 5 samples of rewording this sentence. And I could ask Copilot to do that, and it would do that and give me some really good insight. So that's the beauty of this true AI tool and feature that is a companion that you can collaborate with and have a good discussion with, and then really bounce ideas off of what you want to do. And the beauty, again, I wanted to just, as we wrap up, I wanted to really cover, let's do it again. Like let's take Copilot and put it in, let's put it in this section again. And you're going to go see there's a limitation, but you get about double the type of text that you can put in there. So you'll break them down into sections, and then, you do the same thing. You'll type in a command, and enter, Shift Enter, and then that command will analyze and provide some feedback, right? And then I can add some more prompts in here. So Copilot just took more data, it's summarizing, giving you more information. This is really cool if you're job hunting, like you're looking at resumes. This is a powerful of this tool. Like, how do you use this in real world? Like, I have a resume and I'm looking at it, and it just takes a lot of time for you to internalize the job description, right? This is a great tool where you can imagine out this was the job description. I'm able to grab that job description, put it here, and give it a prompt, a command. Say, hey, I need you to summarize the 5 most important things of this job description. And then what a Copilot would do would analyze it, and it'll just give you back some insight. Like, this is what I think the 5 most important things are. Then you can go back and have good dialogue with the AI tool to say, hey, but these are the things that were brought up in my information session with the recruiter. And then now it would take into consideration what it thinks and what that additional data points, and it provides you a more well-rounded explanation or summarization of what the AI tool is recommending, or your companion is recommending, what you need to focus on. And it's a really good aid as you're prepping to get your next job. The other cool thing I do wanted to mention is that Copilot can be installed on all of your I have my Outlook here. I can install my Outlook. I could put it on Teams. I could put it in my Office 365. And this is just kind of my panel that will come up. Again, Copilot does expand out. I'm not going to cover. Don't want to cover advanced topics of Copilot, Microsoft Copilot Studio, but Copilot Studio is this capability where you can customize and build out your own Copilot framework, and this thing is really really cool. Definitely something to look at. And again, you get the $30. You spend $30 a month. You are going to need the business standard or the business premium to take advantage of this capabilities. And then I like the really capabilities of Copilot in the Teams. This is a really cool feature of Copilot Teams, is that as you get Copilot installed into your system, you are installed into your Microsoft Outlook, like here, in your Teams. You can basically say to Copilot, hey, I'm sitting in a Teams meeting and I can't remember what the first 15 minutes of this meeting was. And then you could just tell Copilot, say, hey, summarize up to this point what was talked about. And Copilot will analyze the interactive data that was captured from the person speaking, and then will give you a summary. So I thought that was a really good feature if you're falling asleep in your meetings, or they're losing you, and it's really hard to keep your attention. I think this really cool tool of Copilot is powerful to really enable you and make you super successful as a really good AI companion. And then just, simple other features I do like here. This is basic browser stuff. You can change it to light to black. Sometimes I like to switch it to black and play around and make Copilot do some really cool funky stuff. All right, well, that covers it. I covered all the basics. We talked about what Copilot is, who uses Copilot, got into its basic features, covered some prompts, some just basic prompts. I gave you some cool prompts. I have a lot more prompts, which I'm going to try to include in the description. But if you have any questions, please reach out to us. And thank you so much for your time.